Hey guys, welcome back to Black Lotus Gaming. Today we're going to be going over all the Duskmourn House of Horror precons, and we're going to be seeing which ones are the best, which one I think is the most powerful. And so I think there are some really cool decks in this, and I'm really excited to get some of these. And yeah, so let's get into it. So first up, we have the Jump Scare precon. I almost said Tricky Terrain. That was from Modern Horizons 3. But anyways, this is a really cool one. I think this is one I'll be getting. For the, I'm just gonna read the two commanders. Zamone, this is the face commander, and Kiana is the secondary commander. But Zamone says whenever a land you control enters Manifest Dread, if this is the first time this ability is resolved this turn, you get to, otherwise you may turn a permanent you control face up. So basically you're getting so much value each turn. You really just need to be able to manifest dread a lot. That's why there's a lot of those cards, and I think it's going to be really cool, and you're getting so much value out of it. And this is one of my favorites, definitely, hands down. And also, if you didn't know, Manifest Dread means you look at the top two cards of your library, put one into your graveyard, and the other down as a 2/2. And also for Kiana, you can see him here. We have, as long as Kiana's power is even, you may cast non-creature spells as though they had flash. And as long as it's odd, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash. And whenever you draw a card, put +1/+1 counter on Kiana. I don't really understand the secondary commander, how it helps with Zamone, but if you want to build it a different way, I guess it can work. And this, I think it's really cool. Also, if you didn't notice, the decks now don't come with a spin down, or I guess a life wheel, I guess is what it's called. It was crazy how before they used to have the pictures of commanders on it. They were really cool and like custom, but then they went to just plain, and then now they're not having them. But I guess it's a trade-in for that. We also get the alternate commander in borderless too. It's really cool, and I think that's definitely an upgrade for it, for sure. And so we're gonna look at some of the kind of the good cards that are in it, and this does have a lot of good reprints. We'll see in a second. And we have a bit of creatures. We have 33 creatures. We have a lot of high CMC. This is one I really wanted to focus on. This is a really cool one. Shriekwood Devourer. He says whenever you attack with one or more creatures, untap up to X lands, where X is greatest power among those creatures. And he's a 7/5. You get to basically untap 7 lands during your turn if you attack with him. And he doesn't even have to get damage, but all he has to do is attack. Really cool, and that's for all your creatures. So that's a really cool one, definitely. And so there's a ton of ramp in this deck, obviously, because it's really trying to get a ton of value out of playing a lot of lands. Of course, it's the Simic deck. We do have so many mythics. I think we have 11 or 13 mythics, and we also have Hydra Omnivore. And you realize there's a lot of high CMC. That's so that you can cast cards with a lot of your mana, and so that also you can use your manifest dread, good things. You don't want to just be hitting 2-drops and stuff. You want to be hitting big things, like Shriekwood Devourer or something. And then of course we have Scute Swarm, good reprint. I think it's a couple bucks. And one of the best reprints, ASC, is currently is about 32 bucks, I believe, and it's a really great reprint. We also have a huge 15/15 for some reason. Artamerxes, another good reprint. And so yeah, we have a ton of ramp in this deck, and also a ton of creatures for some reason. And we have 9 instants, pretty high CMC. Dig Through Time is the highest. Missed Counterspell. Really, I think this is a really cool deck. It's a lot, very Simic, but then also a lot of big creatures. It really reminds me of Reap the Tides, which is a really great deck. We have a really solid land base here. We have a lot of things like Yavimaya Coast, Reliquary Tower, Quantric Campus, A lot of cool kind of utility lands, I guess. Gonna skim through them, and as you can see, these are what the arts will look like. Command Tower looks really cool, and forest and islands. So yeah, there are a couple good reprints. The main reprint, I would say, is definitely ASC for this deck. And I could see this deck being really powerful, generating a ton of value and a ton of ramp, and really being a fast deck. So next up, we do have the Miracle Worker deck. And this deck is pretty cool. But it's very enchantment themed. So take that how you will, if you like it or not. I think it is kind of a cool theme-ish. So let's look at it though. Anamatu is gonna be the face commander for this deck, and basically lets you surveil 2 at the beginning of your upkeep, and reduces your miracle cost for enchantments, and gives all of your enchantments miracle. And then also for the Master of Keys, which is also the alternative commander, when he enters, you get to put X +1/+1 counters in him and mill twice X cards. And it gives all of your enchantments in the graveyard escape. So kind of 2 different things, strategies, but both going with enchantments. So cool to see that. And I think it can be a cool deck. And it's cool. We don't really get Esper precons that much. So some of the cool cards that we're going to be getting, there are some actually pretty good reprints in here, and some really cool new cards, like, where is it? This dude, he's cool. And yeah, there are a bit of cool cards. There's a lot of enchantment creatures, especially. This is a really cool one. This is one of the good reprints that we're getting. And so not... There's a bit of stuff like Archetype of Imagination. That's a good one. I love that card. And this is one that might not be as good. And so I'll say about my rating at the end, and let me know if you guys agree with it or not. So I'll go through all of them, and then I'll show my rating. Because this is really to determine which one I think is the best. And Ink Shield's a good reprint also, a couple bucks I think. But I would say this is a pretty cool one, and I do know which ones I think are the coolest and which ones are the worst. And also, these are all we already went through those, but there's 15 enchantments in this deck, probably more because there's a lot of enchantment creatures. So that's gonna be really it for that one. There's not too many things to feature on there, and of course we are gonna be getting the all 10 different arch enemy schemes for the set, and here's just 2 that are gonna be in it. And this one is one of my favorites, I think, and it's really cool. So this is Endless Punishment. So we have Valgavoth. Whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each of their turns, put a +1/+1 counter on Valgavoth and draw a card, which is super powerful, I think, and generating a ton of value. Like, by the next time, if you each have a pinger on each upkeep, you're basically going to draw 3 cards each turn cycle, and then also put 3 counters on him. So he's going to be next time the turn comes around, he's going to be a 7/7 with flying commander. So it's pretty crazy. And then also we have Lord of Pain. He's your opponents can't gain life, and whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, choose another target player. He deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the chosen player. So that's really cool. I think it's a really cool ability, because you're kind of like using whatever your opponents play against your other opponents. So you can say, like, it's not my fault. You shouldn't have cast that huge Eldrazi and the Emrakul or something. So I think it's really cool, and this is one I'm really excited for. This deck also does have really good reprints too, and this is one of the new cards. It's a pretty good one. There's 10 new cards in each of these, Like Mogus is a good one. Braids, I mean, for reprints. Cataract Parasite is a good one. Massacre Girl's pretty good. We have Massacre Worm. And we have so many pingers on upkeeps and basically this is a group slug, so you're gonna be taking a lot of damage too, of course. And but there are also things. Sir Conrad's good, but there are also things that help you get your life back, because you're gonna be using a lot of it for sure. And so I think this is a really cool one. This is one of my favorite ones, I think. And Bastion Remembrance is a good uncommon, and we haven't seen it reprinted in a bit. I don't know when since. Seance Board is a new one. We have Mask of Grizzlebrand. That's a really cool one. It's one of the lifelinks. And Basilisk Collar to help you gain that life back. I love the new Lightning Greaves artwork. And the land base is pretty good on this one too. I believe we have a couple of expensive lands, like Witch's Clinic is a bit, I think around $5. And then we do have a lot of different lands that enter untapped, and just a lot of it's a really good land base. That's what I'm gonna say. And I think it looks really cool. And so okay, for the last one, we're gonna have Death Toll, featured with Winter and Red Maw. Winter, whenever you attack, or whenever he attacks, mill 3 cards, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile any number of cards from your graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. If you do, put a permanent card from among them onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So definitely a Reanimator style. It says fill your graveyard, reanimate monsters for sure, definitely. And then we have Rendma, and with Menace and Reach. And whenever he enters, and whenever you play a card with 2 or more card types, each player creates a tapped 2/2 black bird creature token with flying. The tokens are good for the rest of the game. I don't understand how these tie together. It's really weird to me. I don't really understand how they're supposed to go together, but I think it is pretty cool though. I love the art on the Red Maw, and that's a pretty cool one for sure. And we do have some good reprints in this one, I think, but there's actually not too much. And we do have a lot of Planeswalker stores. We have Dryad Arbor, very random. I think this one could be Stitcher Supplier's a good one. This one is a little bit all over the place, but I think it's because it doesn't really matter what you're getting for free if it's for free, you know. And we have 4 Planeswalkers, good ones up next to the list: Professor Onyx, Red and 7, and Grist the Hunger Tide. Grist was just reprinted in Modern Horizons 3, but it's okay to get more. And of course, just have the normal signets and whatever. We have Whisper Soap Cloak also. Strange. I guess it's for winter. And we do have artifact lands. I don't know why. I guess it's... You know, I'm thinking... Now I realize why there's so many planeswalkers and artifact lands and enchantment creatures and stuff. I think it's because of the delirium. It needs to be like 4 different, which does make sense. And so this is actually a pretty cool one. I believe I should be opening the Endless Punishment and the Jump Scare one. I should be opening both of those in a video. And so whenever those come, probably the end of the month. But yeah, there's a lot of good lands in here too. Maybe not as good as the Rakdos one, but there are artifact lands. Some of them down here. I believe we have 3. 2, I guess. Yeah, 2. Which is still cool though. And let me see. Oh, this is the bird that you're gonna be getting. It's really cool. And Okay, so in conclusion, I'm gonna say I'm gonna rank them in order. I would say the worst one is probably gonna be Miracle Worker. I'm gonna say because it seems kind of all over the place, and you're getting a lot of value, but it doesn't really know what it's doing. There's no real kind of game plan. I don't know. I don't really know how you're supposed to close this out, and there's nothing to really stop if you just have a bunch of enchantments. There's nothing that you can really do, and you're really only getting one free enchantment or one discounted enchantment per turn. So it's a really good deck. I do think it will be really powerful. There's a lot of, but these precons are really powerful, so the bar is really high, and so that's why I'm gonna say that. And next, this is still a super powerful deck, but I believe it's not powerful enough to beat the other ones. We have Death Toll. This is a great deck though, but I feel like it's kind of all over the place, especially with the two different commanders. But see, I'm not really sure what it's trying to do. It's trying to reanimate a ton of expensive stuff, and I don't really know what the game plan is. I guess you're just seeing what sticks, but it does seem like it will be a really cool deck, for sure. And then in second place, we're going to go all the way up, because we have Jump Scare. This deck is really cool, and I think it's going to be great, a ton of value generator, to get a ton of free stuff each turn, and being able to manifest Dread a ton, and then also for the reprints too, like Artemesis and ASC, definitely. ASC right now is about $30, so we're probably going to see that drop because it hasn't been reprinted since Commander Legends, I believe. So I would say this is in second place. The one thing that's kind of bringing it down is Kiana, the other commander, because it has nothing to do with what the deck is doing, I guess. I guess the card draw makes sense, but I don't really understand what it's doing. The alternative commanders in all these decks are like kind of weird, except for in the Endless Punishment deck. So this is a very good deck, but I feel like for that reason it makes it unable to get to spot number 1, which I'm going to give to let me find it, Endless Punishment, because I really feel like it's gonna do a great job dealing damage and kind of speeding up the game. That's what these are supposed to do. And I think it has a really great land base too, some really great reprints, and it also has great upgrade potential, definitely. And the commanders are just great too. You can really go either way with these. See, they're not different from each other. They do stuff alike, which is really cool. And they're both about burn and stuff. So I think they did a good job with this, really. And so I feel like this is gonna take it for the best one. And also really, really great reprints and stuff. And Rampaging Frostodon. And it's definitely upgradable. I might be biased, though. I'm a very red player. And also, I really love Rakdos. But let me know what you guys think. So that's going to be what I think. So my rings were, I believe, Miracle Worker, Death Toll, Jump Scare, and then Endless Punishment. So yeah, that's kind of gonna be it for this. I'll have a video soon about probably about the best Duskmourn cards. I'll try to see if I can do that, and then also maybe one explaining the arch enemy cards. And but other than that, I'll link this down below in case you want to check it out, and let me know if you agree or disagree on it, and what you think. But I think these all look really good, and they're really above average for sure. But I think, some are better than others, for sure. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.